Alright guys, we are back. This time it's still with the F2 Pro by Segway Ninebot. But we are going to go into some details on it. So starting off, the maximum speed on this in the US is 20 miles per hour. The estimated maximum range is about 30 to 40 miles. That's gonna really depend on the payload, what kind of terrain you're driving on, if you have hills or not. Here in the Midwest, we've got a lot of hills, all kinds of terrain, and it is a beast of a scooter to navigate everything. So I've got hills here. It does have a 22% grade ability to climb hills. It has 10-inch tubeless pneumatic tires that have a jelly layer on them. So there's no tubes, but they are filled with air. We have 2 brakes. That's a front disc brake, which is right there. And then we have the electronic rear brakes, which use the motor inside, and that helps with regenerative energy. That way your battery gets some energy put back into it and can extend your ride. Then you have a maximum motor output of 900 watts. Yeah, look at that. It's in the rear. It's a rear-wheel drive scooter. It's supposed to help with stability, and I really enjoy having a rear-wheel drive. It's a 900 watt max, so that means your motor, your nominal output would be around 450 or so. Then it's got built-in indicators on your left and right. See it there, see it there, and that's good for rear. And then also it's on the front, so the people to your front and rear can see it. And they are super bright at night. It will light up the signs around you like a normal car does when it has its turn signals on. And then it's got front suspension right there. It's got a nice boot cover on it. The overall ride on this scooter is phenomenal. It's the air-filled tires on it and that front suspension makes it really nice to ride around, especially when you're hitting bumps and holes here in the Midwest, because we have a winter season, so they like to throw out the salt, and then the ground also heaves from the concrete, water underneath the concrete freezing, and then that develops cracks and then uneven surfaces. I've got a couple of other ones that have solid tires on them, other scooters, and this one is a night and day difference compared to the other 2 or 3 that have the solid tires when you're going over bumps. So this scooter is also water resistant. I mean, it's not waterproof to where you're gonna submerge it into a pool or a river. I mean, why would you anyways? But if you're riding through the rain, yep, you're good to go. You can ride in the rain. The body itself is IPX5 rated, and then the battery pack inside is rated for IP6 or IPX6. It does have a electronic horn, so I mean, you still have the buzzer, or not the buzzer, but the bell right there, but you also have a electronic horn, and that is a high decibel electronic horn, so people riding around on their bicycles can hear that better than they can the bell. So it has the traction control system on it, and what that is on the F2 series is it's a precisely controlled algorithm that they have inside of the control board, and that assists on better traction for gravel or slippery road. What I really like about the functionality of this scooter is how they have the handlebars set up. It's ergonomically friendly. It's super easy to reach your horn, your turn signals, and your bell. Everything is very nice and organized on there. Compared to some other scooters, this just blows it away with all the overall quality that they put into this thing. And the ergonomic designs that they thought about. One nice thing about this F series, I'm not sure if it's just to the F series or all their Ninebots, but it does have a smart battery management system. What that does is it helps with short circuit protection, overcurrent protection, double protection from overcharging, double protection from over discharging. So if you overcharge or discharge your battery too high or too low, it will ruin your battery. You can actually cause fires to happen by doing that. So it's nice that they have this put in there. It has a temperature protection, so your battery doesn't overheat. It will cut the power out until the battery reaches the correct temperature for operating. And it also, this scooter has customizable charging limit, which I thought was really nice. So what that is it allows you to charge the battery only to 80%, 90%, or 100%. What that does is it extends the life of your battery. So you want to charge it to like 80 or 90% if you're an everyday user, like you literally get on it and run it every day, like a whole battery pack. You'd want to drop that down to 80 or 90% charge. That extends the life of the battery. If you're using it like once or twice a week, you'd go ahead and just charge it all the way up to 100%. Okay, so like I said at the beginning, I do have a few cons to go over. A couple of them aren't that big of a deal, and one is a very big deal. So starting off, I'll just say that the mileage could be better. It's only getting realistically probably about 25 miles, and that's in a real life situation, so running around the streets, hills and whatnot, which for me it's fine. I can get to and from my office, and I have no problems with that. And then the biggest problem is going to be with that right there, your throttle and the cruise control. So what has happened a couple of times is I've just started out with going, so I hit the throttle and it's supposed to take about 5 seconds, and then your cruise control kicks on. A couple of times I have had this happen where I hit the throttle and then it just takes off full bore and the cruise control kicks in and I can't stop it. Each time this has happened, I've had to jump off the scooter and lay it down for it to stop. That can be a huge issue, especially when you're coming up to an intersection like I did, and I looked like a fool jumping off the scooter trying to lay the thing down so I didn't get smacked by a car or hit a car. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. I don't know if it's more than just this one. I'm assuming it's just a fluke in like maybe the software. Maybe an update will help it. But I did not have, or I do not have that problem if I turn the cruise control to the blinker setting. So that's where you hold your turn signal for 3 seconds and then it kicks on. Okay, and then so that's a big deal, but so far I've found a workaround with it using just the other cruise control option. And then the display in the sun is super hard to read. In the evening or early morning hours, it's fine, but at middle of the day, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're trying to look at that display and it does not want to light up very well. Let's see if I pull this up. So right now it's inside so you can see it and it's just fine. It's flashing 88, and that was because the scooter's being moved, and so it's kind of like the arm position where your alarm's gonna go off, but there's no alarm, it just beeps at you. Okay, and then the last thing, which isn't really a huge deal for me either because I don't go off-road a lot, is there's no rear suspension. You've got the front, which works just fine. It's just a big spring inside there. It's not like oil-filled shocks or anything, but there's no rear suspension. So if you want a scooter that you can take off-road, that's probably not going to be the one that you want, this F2 Pro. If you're just staying on city streets, you know, cracks and bumps, that's fine. But if you're trying to go off into the desert in Utah and go off-roading, this is not what you're going to want. Other than that, I have no other complaints. Like I said, the throttle issue, I have figured out a roundabout workaround, and that's just to use the turn signal cruise control. All right, that's it. I will have a couple of other videos on this once I hit about the 200-mile mark. Right now I'm at about 170. All right, thanks guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please go ahead and put them down in the comments section. If you would, give it a like, thumbs up, and subscribe. Talk to you later.